Is there any concern when y'all go full pads and inside at all?
No, we got to be able to adjust. I'm not a big fan of the rain. Never really liked it. Sometimes it takes away from the things that you can accomplish on the field. So I want to be sure we got great work today, and the guys did an excellent job.
Did they give you anything on Marquise after he went down today?
No, we got to get it evaluated.
Okay, Boyd Coach started in practice today?
Yeah, just resting him out, just making sure he's good. So we'll just take that day by day.
And then Wattenberg, is that the ankle from the game?
Yes, sir. Yep, and that's a day by day also.
How would you evaluate the progress that Graham Glasgow has made? I think right at the end of OTAs, he told us he was about at 85%, but kind of trending upward. What have you seen from him?
The biggest step he took was in the game. I mean, I thought he played really, really well in the game, and he's just progressively gotten better. I think the more that he gets comfortable with coming back from the injury, the better he's going to get. It's great because he's got a lot of flexibility inside there. He can play guard, center, all those things. So I think that's really helpful for us, and he's done a nice job.
You got cuts today for the first time. As a first-time head coach, how do you deal with the human element of that? Do you try to meet with everybody? Or what's your
I mean, first and foremost, it sucks. I mean, these guys have been busting their behinds for all the way back. You go to phase one, and they're part of our group, they're part of our family, and we appreciate everything that those guys have done. And there is a human element, but yes, I will talk with everybody. It's one of those things that guys know. I embrace even those rough times, and I just want to be sure I always thank them for everything that they've done.
Coach, what's the difference between it'd be nice to play guys or you need to play guys in the preseason when it comes into this game?
You know me, I don't like the preseason. I mean, that's just my philosophy, my upbringing, just seeing all the different things that I've seen in the past. There's always that risk reward. And, I think we'd all sit here and say, sure, we want the guys to go out there and do good and get reps and stuff like that. But, in the end, we want to be smart with the guys. It's a 17-game season. So we want.
Like a practice like today, do you think that's just as effective, if not?
Yes, I thought the guys, how we try to protect the guys and get them ready so that they can come out there and play at the highest level is what we're aiming for. So those practices, we want them to be more efficient, better, faster, just as game-like as possible. And I think that's what we're trying to create. And the more that they do that, the better. Now, if it gets bad or anything like that, then, yeah, we might have to throw them in the games, you guys. But in the situation, I think they've all stepped up to that challenge. And I think they've done a great job.
Speaking of game-like, what did you think of that the ball period at the end? Did the clock run out on the offense?
No, not going to say anything specific, but we definitely would have gotten that one off if certain things might have happened. So again, I thought the guys did a great job getting ready, getting set. I thought they were on the same page. We just, took us a little while to spot the ball. I don't move as fast as I used to sometimes, but no, I think we would have been able to kill that thing.
Nathaniel, while most of your guys on offense, on the offensive line, are familiar with zone blocking techniques, what's a realistic expectation for them to start really gelling together as the season goes along?
Oh, I think it's very realistic. I think those guys have been working hard, from their individual up to the team periods, and the amount of team periods that we do, the amount that we practice it. A lot of the time going in practices, guys just want to work on passes, but I think we really commit to the run game. And I would tell you, we're going against a really, really good defensive front. And when you can get a little bit of success versus those guys, that's when they start feeling it and understand the different angles we're trying to accomplish. But I think they've really grasped it very well, and I think they're coming along.
Coach, how much do you look around at the way other teams approach preseason? I think the Rams, since Sean got there, don't play any of their starters, and they've gone to a couple Super Bowls. And other teams, that have won Super Bowls recently are playing star quarterbacks.
Yeah, I think again, it starts with my experience in the past, from growing up as a kid, watching certain things happen that you're just so frustrated about, always judging that risk-reward factor. And then my past experiences as a coach, you all of a sudden look at all the different things that you did, whether it was, practicing every day, hitting every day, nonstop. How many reps can you get in one day? I've been in that situation. I've been in the situation when you barely get any reps because you're overprotecting. And then, I think that it really opened my eyes on what we did at Green Bay. And a lot of that stuff, knowing Sean, knowing Matt, and seeing how they did it, I think it really opened my eyes because of how healthy we were able to be. And I think that's in the end, that's what we're trying to do as coaches. We want them to be prepared for that week one. That's all that matters to me.
It's
What is
not-
the process?
It's
What is the process between you and George when you have to narrow down the roster, not just today, but the next few days?
Our communication is fantastic. I think that, it's a hard time regardless. I mean, anytime you make any cut, you're always making hard decisions because the guys have really done a great job, everybody. And I think I'm very lucky to have a guy like George that you can communicate with, you can talk with. If you have a disagreement, you can work it out and try to figure it out what's best for the team in the long run. Talk about the football aspect, the person is another thing. All those different things, we want to be sure that we're having the right people here that are doing their job and we're on the same page from that standpoint.
It sounds like that if they practice the way you want them to practice, you don't need to see them in the preseason. But you might have needed the preseason. The head coach, did the operation go as smoothly as you'd hope?
Yeah, it definitely did. I'm one of the, I didn't think I needed it that much, but it was definitely, it's just fun. It's fun to be able to go out there and call plays for these guys and try to put them in the best positions possible. That's what you're looking for as a coach. And so I think it's just a great opportunity to go out there and compete and be great. From the standpoint of whether you need something or not, I mean, we're in constant communication as coaches. I mean, everything we do, from game planning as a group, from discussing even on the field different adjustments we can make. So we're always going through that because we want to make it as game-like as possible. And now that we're doing those move the ball periods, we can even develop other people calling plays. Coach Outen was out there calling it up. So I could ask him questions. And I think all those things are great to just help develop and get people rolling.
Coach, do you play Madden?
I used to quite a bit.
With your kids, you around,
They ask me a lot. Madden's changed a little bit more, but I definitely do. Goldeneye was the one that that one and I think it was college football when Adriel and I were in college. Really was rough.
Going,
George, and then Ryan O'Halloran, please.
How would you evaluate the right tackle spot right now? Is that still an open competition, and when Billy gets back, does that become?
I mean, in the end, everything's a competition. I think that the more different combinations, like I've told you guys from the beginning, we want to try continually working people because competition's great. It brings the best out of everybody. So you always want people working in, and we're going to need everybody. So I think the more people we can get in that spot and all the spots, we just want to continually work different people.
How often when you're watching 11-on-11 tape after practice and an offensive play works, that you put a check mark next to it, say, week 1?
I think it's more you just want to see the guys grasp the understanding of the play and what you're trying to get after. For us, every defense is different. So I think that you're always, once you see that they can execute it, it's more like a check for the whole season. That's something that you want to get to. Not necessarily week 1, because we have to really, look at all that stuff, see what they've done in the past, see what they've done, just across the board in their history and stuff like that. And you want to get the best plays possible. But definitely it's a check mark for the whole year when you see them executed efficiently over and over.
Thank you very much.
All right, you guys.